Hey traders, it's Mike here, and in this video I'll be talking about the Orderflow Exhaustion entry model that's quietly replacing everything else. Nobody else is talking about it. I'm the only one that's talking about it. I'm sure in a few months you're going to start to see a load of followers posting videos as if they've invented fire. But once traders see this and start using it, I find that they've been replacing it with their existing methods of trading because of the simplicity. I've been showing you charts for the last several weeks in E-minis, in bonds, in euro currencies, and people say, oh, you know what, you're just cherry picking your charts. Like this was on Friday in the ultra bonds, right? We had that nice sell-off. But, the same entry model that I use in S&Ps, in bonds, ultra bonds, euro currency work just about every market. Okay, now of course every market has different volatility, and depending on the chart type that you're using, I like to keep it simple. Keep it the same type of chart. A time-based or 1 minute chart. You could use a 30-second chart. You could use range charts. It doesn't matter. Once you start applying this entry model, you're going to see trades just really jumping out at you. And someone had asked me, okay, that's all well and good, but I don't trade on a 4-range chart in bonds or ultra bonds. I trade crude oil. Okay. What chart are you trading? You trade a time-based chart, a 1 minute chart? Okay, let's pull up crude on a 1 minute chart. And I'm using my same template, right? This is my Orderflows Trader. I'm just using my Orderflows Trader 8 Exhaustion template. I'll put it on the crude here, and well, this is ultra bonds, but I'll switch over to a crude oil chart. Okay, and let's take a look at it. Okay, now these are the same settings, whether it is ultra bonds, E-minis, crude oil. Okay, let's just take a look. I can see there was some shorts from earlier. Okay, right here. It would be a little bit hard to see. Now, granted, this is 3:20 in the afternoon on Friday. There was a nice bullish signal, and it went from, whatever this was, 96.20, rallied a buck in the last hour of trading. You got a bearish signal here right before the futures closed, but, you're probably not going to take that. But let's take a look at, some of the other signals on this day here. Let's sort of scrunch it up so we get a little bit more information. Okay, here's a short signal right here. You can see the signal came here, sold off, went back up to the level and sold off some more. Okay. How about a little bit previous? Got another signal, came in right here. Okay. This is a nice little trade here. Again, this is crude. Doesn't look like much. We're talking a move from 60, down really quick within a few minutes down to 20. That's a 40-cent move. Even got down to just about 9,600. Okay. Now here's a trade that, here's a trade that doesn't look like it worked. Yeah, this one would have started to work, but that's just stopped you out. This one right here in the middle. Okay, fine. There's going to be some trades that stop you out. This marking tool. Let's see. Oh, look at this. This was a beautiful trade right here. Here was a couple of shorts that came in right here, right here. I mean, you're getting short here, 97 bucks. These are the trades that you love as a trader, where it drops, 97 down to 96, down to 95. Okay, it actually came down, made new lows. Prior to this trade here, you had this nice little sell-off right here. Okay, you just sort of based in here before it came back up, and you got your next sell signal right there. Okay. Here you can just see these little signals here. This is a buy, this is a sell, here's your buy, here's your sell. Okay, this is a small buy, sell, just sort of went sideways. What else we got here? Okay, here's a little long, this was about 25 cents. Okay, here it's a little hard to see, but you had one winner, one loser. This one would have stopped you out. This first one right here. This one stopped you out. It just sort of went up, then came back down and stopped you out. But then, look at this. It came right back with this monster move off the low of the day here. It's a little hard to see. This green line right here, this little up pyramid, up triangle, right? And you're talking to move from 96.20 just all the way up to 97.20 within from about 8:15 to about 8:35. Okay, so about 20 minutes. It's a nice move. So, I mean, that's crude oil, right? And, I get a lot of messages. Well, I don't trade crude. I don't trade this. I trade this micro gold. Someone says, how about micro gold? How does it look on micro gold? Well, let's take a look. Again, this is the same 1 minute chart with the exact same settings. And again, late in the day, it had a nice little short right here. In the last 15 minutes, traded had a long. So you had, but again, you're not going to be on Friday afternoon at 3:30 taking trades. There's a nice long here. You'll say, what about this one? This one failed. Well, no, it didn't, because the next bar didn't go higher than the high of the entry bar. Okay, let's take a look. Is there any other trades on this day? I'm sure there's got to be. Here's a. Whoops, where am I here? Draw this line. Okay, so here's a long entry, right? You see there, but none of these trades kick off because, part of the entry model is letting the next bar or two trade higher than the bar with the entry signal. So even though you've got your signal right here, right, your entry is just going to be right above the high of this bar, just as here it's going to be right above the high, here right above the high. And we don't go any higher in either of these two bars, right, here and here. So there's no trade, okay, even though you have your exhaustion print, your exhaustion print, your exhaustion print. That's just one part of it, okay. Let's see what else we got here. Anything? Bueller. Okay, there's a couple of shorts right here. Here. Next bar trades down. Talking 45.21, gets down. Next bar literally goes from 21 down to 18. Trades around 18 a few times, but mostly 19s. So a couple of bucks. Then here again, here's your short. You spend a lot of time down here. Does rally back up before going down to about 16. Okay. And what else we got? Okay, this one, we had one. Here's your signal, but again, we don't trade below here in the next two bars, so no trade. This one, okay, yeah, would have got you short, but stopped out. So this is a trade you would have taken. And then obviously this was the one where, we started selling down and went lower. Okay. And here it's only like what, 10 o'clock right now. This is 10:05 in the morning. Surely there's got to be something else. Okay. Well, there's a couple signals here. These two. When you're looking at the entry signal here and here, so this one would have got you in, just sort of went sideways. Maybe it would have stopped you out. Maybe you would have got a small profit. This one, similar, just barely got you in. So this one would have been a trade you got into, then again stopped out. So stopped. Okay, but you got to realize this is a market that's a bit more volatile than some of these other markets, and as a result, you're going to get stopped out a little bit more just simply because there's more volatility. So like this one here, right, you get short. And again, it depends on what your targets are. Even though these moves look small, you're talking a move from 26 down to 23, a $3 move. This was a little move that started up at 24, got up to 28. So it's a $4 move. Depending on what your targets are, this is a nice trade. You're getting short from here around 31. It goes from 31 all the way down to 21. That's a $10 move. So, even though you're getting stopped out on a couple of these little trades, there's still the capacity for some much bigger trades, down here, right? I mean, look at these longs from, down here. So there's this long is a nice trade. Okay. And, that's just on Friday. If you were to go back, some other days, there'd also be some nice trades. There's a nice long. This is Thursday. There's a long here. There's a short here. There's another short here. And again, it depends on what your target is. If you're taking this well, this short wouldn't have got you in, but if you're taking this short here, right, from, you know, whatever that is, 43, 45, 43, it gets down to 40, comes back up, even gets down to 36 before it goes back up. You know, what is your target, right? Are you trying to get $10? So you're getting short at 43, your target's down here. When you're looking at, you know, 6, 7 points in the money, again, you know, it depends on your target. Now that's, what was this? This was gold, MGC. You know, someone said, you know, they're more interested in mini Russell, RTY. Okay, let's take a look here. Mini Russell. Why I got no, this is weird. That's what I don't like about Ninja Trader. Sometimes my 1 minute chart doesn't work, but the 60-second chart works just fine. I mean, 60 seconds is still 1 minute. Let's just scroll through here. Okay, this is a small one right ahead of the cash close, 230. I see here's a long that didn't necessarily, this one started going up, came right back down. That would have stopped you out. But again, you know, I want to show you guys in different markets. I mean, here from the high of the day, you get this bearish signal. Okay, you can see you got some bullish signals here. There was a bearish one here. This one would have stopped you out. So you got a bullish signal here. So it went from here up to here. Get short here. This one stops you out. But then you got a nice short signal here. You know, and you're talking to move from 81 down into the 70s, 76 area, right in here. You know, and again, you know, this was Friday ahead of the holiday. You know, here's let's scroll back a little bit more. You know, you got some shorts here. You can see, you know, short. Here's a long, right? You got this move where it just sort of puked out. Okay, here's a nice short. See this one right here. You know, obviously on these markets that are more volatile, like RTY compared to E-minis, you're seeing a lot more signals, right? I mean, on Friday, there was just a handful of signals in the S&Ps. But you can see these signals in here. I could go through some of these, but, you know, some nice winners, some, you know, some losers. Let's go back the previous day, Thursday. You know, here's a nice trade. You got, there's a couple of nice trades, you know, especially if you're on a trend day. So this one would have stopped you out because you got short, came back up here. This one, you would be no trade, but this was a beautiful trade, right? If you took this one, right? I mean, people say, "Oh, I got stopped out here. This entry model sucks." You know, you got 1, 2, 3 opportunities. The second one is not even a trade, but this third one, right? You're getting short way up here, 56. Trades all the way down to 40. Then you get a bullish signal here, and it trades back up from 40, back up to 50. I mean, it quite literally does this for you. You know, I mean, you got to realize when you're trading markets that move faster, quicker, you're going to get maybe opportunities for a little bit more stop outs. This one wouldn't even happen. Even though you got your signal there, right? It doesn't go any lower. This one does. You know, and again, it's a move from 54 down into the 40s, the high 40s, 47, 48. Okay, this is 48 right here. No, I'm doing 12. This one would have stopped you out. Some small ones here. So this is a trade here, starts to go up a little bit, comes back. This bullish one. This is interesting. Okay. Let me expand this up a little bit here and just sort of talk about it because this is part of the entry model you got to understand. So, okay, this trade here, right? You're getting long here, right? When you break out above that high, and it starts to go up, right? And again, it's a decent move. It's about 2 or 3 points. And again, depends on what you're using as your target. I like to be optimistic and try and capture as much as you can. But then here, this one, okay, this is where you'd get long. And look at this. This next bar came down, traded below your entry signal, but the next bar got you in. That's why I say you gotta give it 2 bars to work out. And then, you know, you're getting long from about 20. And what happens? It goes from 20. I mean, this is a beautiful one. It shoots up here a little bit later when, you know, I believe there was some talks of peace happening with Iran. But from 20 all the way up to 30, eventually it goes up, gets all the way up to 40s. Okay, I mean, you did have a bearish signal here, but, you know, so if you're long from 20, you know, getting out at 30, that's a great trade in the Russell. See, there was a bearish signal here from earlier overhead. Right, so this is a nice bearish signal here. You can just see how it worked right here, right? Sideways, sideways, and then it drops back down to 18. So again, you're looking at a move from around 25 down to, you know, this is 20 here. You know, this yellow line is our opening price, which is going to act as a magnet. Okay, so, you know, that's the beauty of the order flow exhaustion entry model, because it really clues you in as to what's about to happen, right? You could forget about your indicators, your stochastics, your bands, your moving averages, whatever, you know, lines drawn from stuff that probably doesn't have much relevance. You know, what you're looking at, the order flow, especially specifically with exhaustion prints, is what's happening right now in the markets. Okay, volume is thinning. No new money is coming in to push the move further. The level's going to hold, right? And then what happens? You have silence from those aggressive traders. They're not interested in moving the market further. And then what happens? You know, once you've removed that aggression from the market's just going to naturally move back in the opposite direction. Okay. Now, you know, again, I've traded exhaustion for a long time, and it comes in many different names, shapes, and forms. But really, the key point is when the last buyer has bought or when the last seller has sold. And only the footprint chart allows you to see that. You cannot see that exhaustion on a candlestick chart, on a bar chart. You need to be looking at the volume. You know, I created the Orderflows Trader software to help me see things in the order flow that other people aren't looking at. And exhaustion prints is you know, one of the foundation forms of analysis in order flow. Okay, because it's telling you what's taking place in the market and what you need to focus on. So thanks for watching this video. You know, I really do hope that you one day start using a footprint chart if you're not already, because I do believe it really just opens up your eyes as to what's happening in the market. But it's not just about having an exhaustion print in the market, right? I mean, you know, here's some more trades to take. Okay, you get stopped out, then boom, you get the nice trade that gets it all back in one fell swoop. You know, it's not just about having an exhaustion print like you have here. The entry model, you have to let the market start trading up. If it's a bullish signal, if it's staying below this level, there's no trade. Okay. So again, you know, thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll catch you on my next video. Take care.